Email arrived on a Tuesday. Nothing dramatic, nothing unusual, just another morning drowned in spreadsheets, client calls, and a stomach full of burnt office coffee. I only checked my personal inbox during lunch because I was tired of looking at numbers. But that one moment, those 2 seconds of idle curiosity, changed everything. The subject line read, "OMG, did you see this? Melissa?" I frowned. Melissa never sent me anything, and the video attachment took forever to load on the Office Wi-Fi, 43 seconds. Just 43 seconds that detonated 3 years of loyalty, and destroyed the definition of family I'd been clinging to. It opened on my mother's living room. Warm lights, the familiar tree, the ornaments I'd bought with my bonus 2 years ago. Voices laughed off camera. The sound of glasses clinking. Christmas. The Christmas I'd missed because of a work emergency. The same job that had been paying their bills, their mortgage, their lives. Then my brother Edward stumbled into the frame, clearly drunk, holding a beer. Thank God Rebecca couldn't make it. Now we can actually enjoy ourselves. The room erupted in laughter. My stomach crashed to the floor. My half-eaten sandwich slipped from my hand. I froze, unable to blink, speak, breathe. Next came Carol, rolling her eyes dramatically. She's so uptight, acts like she's better than us now because of that fancy job. More laughter. Then my mother's voice, soft, familiar, comforting, dripped like poison. Well, her fancy job is paying for this dinner, so I can put up with her attitude. They all chuckled, all of them nodding, as if my sacrifices were a punchline. Edward raised his glass again. She thinks we care about her job. We care about her paycheck. And then the line that cracked something inside me. My father's voice, proud, booming, to Rebecca, our personal ATM. They toasted. They toasted to my face, to my generosity, to the money they'd drained from me without hesitation. The video cut out. I stared at my screen, numb, while Melissa's text popped up beneath the file. "OMG, I'm so sorry. I meant to send this to my therapist. Please call me." I couldn't call. I couldn't even swallow. My hands shook violently as I closed my laptop. 3 years. 3 years of covering their bills, their emergencies, their excuses. 3 years of believing we were a family that supported each other. I barely made it to the office bathroom before vomiting. The rest of the day blurred. Meetings, presentations, smiles, nods. All while one sentence replayed like a haunting echo. Our personal ATM. By the time I drove home, tears made the road look like smeared watercolor. I had to pull over twice just to breathe. But when I finally walked into my silent apartment, a cold calm settled over me. A calm that comes only after everything inside you has been burned to ash. I checked my phone. 5 missed calls from Melissa, 2 from my mother. No doubt her monthly request for money. It was the first of the month, after all. I opened my banking app. Monthly transfers. $1,200 to my parents, $800 to Edward, $500 to Carol, plus the endless emergency requests. Over $95,000 in 3 years. I'd been eating ramen so they could eat steak. I put the phone down, poured a glass of wine, and whispered the words aloud. Words that tasted like freedom. The ATM is closed. Morning came with clarity, and 7 new voicemails. Not one of them asked how I was. Not one asked if I was okay. They wanted money, just money. At lunch, with a steady hand, I logged into my bank and cancelled every single transfer. I felt lighter than I had in years. That night, as the calls rolled in, 23 missed calls, 38 frantic texts, one memory cut through the chaos. My father lifting his glass. To Rebecca, our personal ATM. I turned my phone off, and I slept like someone returning to life. For a full week, the world stayed quiet. Too quiet. Not a notification, not a message, not a single voice clawing its way into my peace. I changed my number, switched emails, locked down every social account. It felt strange, like stepping out of a prison I didn't know I'd been serving a life sentence in. But silence has a way of predicting storms. That Saturday morning, the buzzer to my apartment screamed, once, twice, then 5 angry times in a row. I checked the camera. Edward. He looked wrecked, unshaven, jaw tight, eyes bloodshot. His discomfort made me hesitate, but only for a second. I opened the door. He shoved past me without a hello, pacing like a man with a fuse lit under him. "What the hell, Rebecca?" he snapped. "You disappear, change your number. Mom's losing her mind." I doubted that. Mom only lost her mind when rent wasn't paid on time. "I needed space," I said calmly. Edward barked out a laugh. Sharp, cruel. "You can't just cut off your family because you need space." There it was, the entitlement that had lived under our roof like mold. He ran a hand through his hair. "My landlord gave me an eviction notice. I need the money now. Just send it and we can deal with whatever this is." He waved a hand at me as if my heartbreak, the betrayal, the video, the years of sacrifices, were nothing but emotional clutter he didn't want to step in. My voice came out steady, too steady. "I'm not sending anything, Edward." He stopped pacing, turned, stared at me with disbelief that quickly morphed into anger. "Can't or won't? Won't," he scoffed. "You're being selfish after everything this family has done for you." I actually laughed. A hollow, exhausted sound. "Edward, what exactly have you done for me?" He blinked, caught off guard for a fraction of a second before recovering with practiced arrogance. "We raised you. We supported you. We've been there for you. That counts for something, not when it's used as currency," I said. "I've given this family nearly $100,000. Money I worked 60-hour weeks to earn. Money you felt entitled to?" He grimaced, guilt flickering in his expression before he shoved it down. "We needed it. You didn't." There it was, the truth, the belief they'd been feeding on for years. "You've never once asked what I need," I whispered. He rolled his eyes. "Oh my God, are your feelings hurt because we don't fawn over your fancy job? Grow up." I let that hit. Let it burn. Then I dropped the final bomb. I saw the video. He froze, color drained from his face. His jaw worked silently like he was chewing nails. "We were joking," he finally muttered. "No," I said. "You weren't." His eyes darted to the door like he wanted to escape the conversation. Or the truth. "I need you to leave, Edward." He stepped closer, pointing a finger at me. "You'll regret this, Rebecca. I'm warning you." I didn't flinch. He left with heavy footsteps and slammed the door so hard the frame rattled. But as soon as the echo faded, I exhaled. Relief washed over me. Deep, cleansing, terrifying. I wasn't his ATM anymore. Not his safety net. Not anyone's lifeline. Just me. And for the first time in my adult life. That was enough. 3 days passed. 3 long, quiet days where I kept expecting another knock, another ambush, another attempt to drag me back into the role they'd carved for me. But instead, I got an email. Subject line, "We need to talk. Mom." I stared at it for a long time, long enough to feel old wounds threatening to reopen. Inside, the message was short. Too short. "Rebecca, you're misunderstanding everything. We love you. We need to sort this out as a family. Please respond. No apology, no accountability. Just manipulation dressed up in concerned parent language." I didn't reply. That evening, a second email arrived. Longer, desperate, dripping with emotional blackmail. "Your father had to borrow money from his brother for medication. Is that what you wanted? Do you want him to suffer? Do you want us to be humiliated?" Guilt stabbed me, but I'd done the research. Dad's medication cost $43 with insurance. They didn't need me. They needed the lifestyle I provided. I typed a single-line reply. "Dad's medication is $43 a month. You can afford it." I hit send, closed my laptop, and let the silence swallow the guilt whole. A month passed. A month of peace. A month of healing. A month of seeing myself as something other than a walking debit machine. I booked a weekend trip, joined a photography class, stopped eating ramen and started eating actual food. I even went to therapy, because fixing what people broke in you is its own form of vengeance. Then one afternoon, as I stepped out of work, I saw her, Carol, standing on the sidewalk, with her 2 kids. My heart sank. They were using the children now. "Rebecca," little Ben shouted, running toward me with the kind of pure, innocent joy that nearly tore me apart. I hugged him and Lily tight. We walked to an ice cream shop nearby. When the kids were distracted, Carol's tone changed. Straight to the point. No softness. Why did you cut us off? I took a slow breath. I saw the video, Carol, her face drained of color, then flushed, then smoothed into practiced denial. We were just joking, she said, eyes darting away. Joking about me being your ATM? I asked. She opened her mouth, closed it, then tried again. We love you, low. Be without respect isn't love, I replied. She didn't argue, couldn't. Instead, she did what they all did. Returned to the money. How are we supposed to manage without your help? Ben's therapy, Lily's braces, always money, never relationship, never responsibility. You'll figure it out, I said softly, like other families do. Budgeting, working, adjusting. It's easy for you, she snapped. You have a good salary. I earned that salary, I said. You've had opportunities too. Her eyes hardened. I have kids. That was your choice, I said gently. I'm not responsible for the consequences. She looked at me like she didn't recognize the person sitting across from her. Maybe she didn't. Maybe I didn't know myself before this. I took her hand. I love you, but I'm done sacrificing myself. The boundary is non-negotiable. Carol nodded slowly, resigned, almost defeated. When they left, little Ben turned and waved. Don't be lost again, he said softly. My heart cracked, because I wasn't the one who'd been lost. I was finally finding myself. Winter arrived on quiet footsteps, the kind of cold that settles inside your bones, reminding you of every place you've ever felt unwanted, but this time, it didn't sting the way it used to. I decorated my small apartment, my own tree, my own lights, my own peace. I invited friends for Christmas dinner, people who cared about me without invoices attached. For the first time, the holidays felt warm. Then, on Christmas morning, an email arrived. From my father. No greeting, no Merry Christmas, just a slab of guilt, cold and sharp. Edward moved back home. Carol's kids won't get much for Christmas this year. Is that what you wanted? I stared at the screen, feeling nothing. Not anger, not guilt, just clarity. I deleted it. On New Year's Eve, a text came from an unknown number. Happy New Year. I miss you. I'm ready to listen. Edward? Maybe he meant it. Maybe he didn't. But I wasn't ready. I didn't reply. Spring crept in slowly. And with it, something I wasn't expecting. A plain envelope in my mailbox, no return address, no markings. Inside was a 10-page handwritten letter. From my mother. My hands trembled, not with fear, but with the weight of everything unsaid. I almost threw it away. Almost. But something, the tiniest spark of hope or closure, pulled me in. I opened it. She wrote about the past year, about the silence, about how it forced them to confront things they never wanted to see. She admitted the truth. They had used me, taken me for granted, viewed my success as a resource, not an achievement, relied on my help so long it felt owed, deserved. She acknowledged the video, said it haunted her, said she'd watched it again and again, realizing the cruelty in their laughter. Then she wrote something I never thought I'd hear. We have changed. Edward working 2 jobs. Carol starting a small gardening business. My parents downsizing to a smaller home. Learning to budget. Learning to stand on their own feet again. We're managing, she wrote. Hard but necessary. And for the first time, because we have to. For the first time in my life. They weren't asking for anything. No demands, no bills, no manipulation. Just an apology. And at the very end, if you ever want to try again, slowly, respectfully, we're here. But only when you are ready. We love you. Not for your money, for you. I sat with the letter for an entire week. Grief and anger and love twisted together, impossible to separate. Family wounds don't heal clean. They scar, they ache, but they can mend, if both sides bleed honestly. So I wrote back, 1 page, simple, clear. I listed every sacrifice, not to hurt them, but to name the truth. I wrote about the betrayal, the disrespect, the years. Of being treated as a paycheck instead of a daughter. Then I ended with, if we try again, it has to be different. I am not your ATM. I am your daughter. If you can see me, really see me, then maybe we can rebuild. I mailed the letter the next morning. Then I took my dog for a long walk through my new neighborhood, spring air warm against my face. Whatever happened next, reconciliation or permanent distance, I knew one thing: I would be okay. I had learned the most crucial truth of adulthood, one carved painfully but deeply. Love should never cost you your self-respect. Some relationships drain you dry, and closing the account is not cruelty, it's survival. And finally, I was free. In the end, Rebecca didn't just break free from her family's manipulation. She broke free from a lifetime of believing she owed them her peace, her money, her sanity. Setting boundaries isn't revenge. Healing isn't revenge. But sometimes, refusing to be used is the most powerful revenge of all. Her story reminds us that betrayal doesn't always come from strangers. Sometimes it comes from the people who share your name, your childhood, your memories, the ones who think love is a transaction, the ones who only miss you when the money stops. But when Rebecca finally closed the account, when she stopped funding their comfort and started investing in herself, the power shifted. And in that quiet shift, she found something she hadn't had in years: her life, her identity, her freedom. No more guilt, no more emotional debt, just a woman reclaiming what was hers all along. Because at the end of the day, real family isn't defined by blood, it's defined by respect, and the willingness to see someone not as a resource, but as a human being. CTA, call to action. If this story hit you somewhere deep, if it made you think about your own boundaries, your own relationships, or the people who take more than they give, then I want to hear from you. Have you ever had to walk away from someone you loved because they kept taking and never giving back? What was the final straw for you? Share your story in the comments below. Your voice might be the one someone else needs to hear. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more dark, emotional, and powerful stories here on Echoes of Revenge. Your support helps this community grow, and your stories help others heal.